Cool hand look. Paul Newman, not just one of the greatest actors ever, but much more than that, a wonderful human being, involved in the community, pleasant. We can read about him and so many others, about the whole industry in the classic Adventures in the Screen Trade. William Goldman, the one who wrote, in fact, the script for Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, therefore meeting Newman and Redford, the latter being less of a charming boy, as we get from the book, but that's another story, together with so many more stories that you could, perhaps you should, if you're interested in the screen trade. One of the best, if not the best book there is. Cool hand look. Unfortunately, somewhat by accident or injustice, Luke ends up in a prison camp, in fact, which reminds one of well, concentration camps. Perhaps is too much to say. Well, surely it is too much to say, because they're not exterminated, they're abused, even tortured, yes, but not killed. Well, some are. The abuse is taken to the extreme, where some collapse, but that's not the rule. That's not for all, in all intents and purposes. So that's one thing. And the other comparison we can make is with the other classic, more of a classic, in fact, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And in that, they're both rebels, McMurphy and Luke, and one is in a prison, one is in another type of jail, a mental institution. McMurphy indeed thinks he will get into this thing and get out as soon as possible, but it doesn't happen the way he wants. It's it's a trap, it seems, in the end. Anyway, here we have another type of rebel, one who is embraced by the rest of the group, and let's move on, because we have a guy here who's like...
Workout resumed.
So, yeah. At one point, he's dissatisfied
Workout paused.
with the idea that the others are feeding on him too much. He's trying and sending them pictures. When he's escaping, which he does frequently, and he's sending them, for instance, a picture with two women, and they love to think, oh, he made it. He's with two women, and it's so wonderful, and look what is possible. So he works in many ways for them as an ideal. Maybe we can do that. Like any ideal, it's far away and, well, unreachable. That's why it's ideal. But then also because they project onto him some images which even he doesn't represent. He has to tell them, that was a fake picture I sent you. So they place in him and around him, so to say, much more than he is. And that's for him. That's a very serious frustration at one point. So he even shouts at them and says, "Stop feeding on me." And he is abused seriously by the guards, the head of the camp, and it becomes a vicious spiral wherein he has to escape somehow this madness, this hell, this torment, torture, abuse, trauma. But then every time he tries to do that in a different manner, let's suppose you're watching this and you want to see the movie and not get into the details, then that is, tell you then he does this and then he tries the other thing. Let us let you enjoy and just say it's a wonderful movie with Paul Newman, one of the gods of cinema, actually, in top form.